Hello, everyone. Today we want to talk about something that just be worrying many people around the world. And are we moving backwards? And women's rights and the rise of conservatism. My topic is about that sustainability may be moving backwards instead of forward, especially when we look at women's retail in different countries. For decades, women fought very hard to change retail, and that today many people consider normal. And women fought for the right to vote, to study at universities, to work independently, and they made decisions and about their own lives. Many people believe that humanity was progressing and become more equal. However, in recent years, some suggestions had made people question if this progress is accountably permanent. One of the clearest example is what is happening in Afghanistan. Since the return of Taliban government, millions of women and girls have lost rights that they had before. Girls in many cases cannot continue studying beyond certain levels of education. Many women cannot work in different professional emissions, and in some places, women are not allowed to travel freely without a male companion. This situation is shocking because education is one of the most powerful tools for personal freedom. And when women lose access to education, society as a whole becomes weaker. A country cannot develop in the same way when half of its population is excluded from opportunities, and had made this situation even more concerning in that this it is happening only in Afghanistan. Around the world, and there are political movements and that want and societies to become more conservative and return to traditional values. Of course, traditions are important in every culture, but sometimes the political changes can reduce individual freedoms, especially for women. And many young people today grew up believing that equality was normal and guaranteed forever. And but his story teaches us something different. Rights can despair of societies stop protecting them. Progress is not permanent. It depends on people defining democracy, education, and equality every day. In my opinion, as is happening in Afghanistan should make all of us reflect if people start paying attention to injustice in one place. Similar ideas can spread elsewhere. The world should learn from history instead of repeat the same mistakes.
Continuing with this topic, I want to focus on something bigger. What is happening in Afghanistan is shocking, but it also make us reflect on what is happening in many other parts of the world. In some cases, it feels like societies are moving backwards instead of forward. In recent years, conservative and right wing political movements have become stronger in many countries. These groups often promise security, order, and the protection of the traditional values. For many people, these ideas seem attractive during times of crisis or uncertainty. However, history has shown that when political movements become too extreme, some groups lose rights fears. Usually, women, minorities, immigrants, and people who think differently become the most vulnerable. The dangerous part is that this change rarely happens suddenly. Rights are usually not taken away overnight. Instead, societies change little by little until restrictions become normal and people stop noticing what they are losing. We can we can even connect this idea to our own country. Here in Colombia, political change and the rise of figures like Abelardo de las Espriella have made many people question if Colombia is also moving toward more conservative ideas. Some people support a stronger authority because they believe it can bring stability, while others worry that too much political control can reduce tolerance and individual freedom. A very interesting example of this idea can be seen in The Handmaid's Tale. This series shows a society where an authoritarian government slowly takes power while claiming to restore traditional values. At first, lives begin to change little by little, but eventually women lose control over their education, work, and even their own bodies. What makes this history powerful is that it reminds us that freedom is not permanent for women. Rights can disappear gradually when fear and intolerance become normalized. Another important question is whether we are paying enough attention to this change. Sometimes we believe that losing rights can only happen in distant countries or under extreme governments. However, history teaches us that every society is vulnerable if people stop participating, stop asking questions, or stop defending dem- democratic values. Freedom is something that must be protected every day, not only when it is already in danger. Young people also have an important responsibility. Our generation spends a lot of time on social media, where information and misinformation is spread very quickly. That is why we should learn to verify facts, listen to different opinions, and think critically before accepting that we see online. Small actions such as voting, staying informed, and respecting different perspective can make big difference in protecting democracy. As women, we should use our voices, take up a space without fear, support each other, and never stay silent when others cannot speak. Every opportunity we have to study, work, or express our opinions is also a way of honoring the women who are still fighting for those same rights. Thank you for listening.